My name is Catherine Dow, and I'm a student at Kennesaw State University in the Masters of Education program studying instructional technology. I'll be graduating in May of 2019. During the master's program, I worked on a Capstone project to implement digital portfolios in career technology classes. The digital portfolios were introduced in culinary arts. Research shows that digital portfolios can be powerful for creating integrative and comprehensive identity development. There is a need for students to have a way to showcase their skills and knowledge that they have learned from culinary arts. Digital portfolios afforded career, technology, agricultural education (CTAE) students the opportunity to create a visual resume to showcase their knowledge and skills to prove their ability to successfully complete the job in a specific career area. This capstone specifically examines culinary arts students in their efforts to show that they have the basic skills necessary to be successful in the restaurant world. These digital portfolios provided students with an opportunity to compete in the professional arena and effectively portray their culinary arts skills and training. Students needed a professional resume that stands out in a technology-driven society to gain a competitive advantage over their peers. The plan to implement digital portfolios in culinary arts classes started with the upper-level culinary arts students. Students used Weebly to create digital portfolios that exhibited skills and familiarity with basic culinary skills to provide them with a competitive advantage when applying for jobs and admission at various colleges in the hospitality industry. During the process of creating the digital portfolios, students worked to become familiar with the Weebly platform, along with developing their photography and writing skills. Students presented their digital portfolios to industry professionals, school administration, and parents at the end of the semester. The evaluation of students occurred in many different ways. Students were evaluated by industry professionals through an advisory meeting. Industry professionals used a rubric to grade students on the presentation of their digital portfolios. Formative assessment rubrics were used to assess project objectives. The written pieces of the digital portfolios in reflection were graded using a writing rubric that all English language arts classes use so students could see the interdisciplinary aspect of CTAE. The capstone experience was a rewarding one, but also stressful for both the students and myself. Students enjoyed creating their digital portfolios, showcasing all that they had learned in their culinary arts classes. Students enjoyed writing recipes and reflections, working on food photography, and creating videos showing all that they had learned over the culinary arts pathway. The creation and implementation of my capstone was a stressful but rewarding experience. It was amazing to watch students work to create their digital portfolios and present them to industry professionals. All of my students really shined, and it was a fantastic experience for all involved. In the upcoming school year, when I implement digital portfolios, there are a few things that I would like to change. I would have the introduction to culinary arts students begin with the creation of the portfolio and become familiar with the Weebly platform. This will allow students to showcase more of their skills and improvements they make over the 3 classes in the pathway. It will also make it easier for students to create the content needed for their portfolios in future culinary arts classes. This would allow for increased class time for students to work to perfect their digital portfolios and allow them to feel comfortable and confident with the product that they are producing. Another item I would change is the presentation piece. It was difficult for school administration, teachers, and industry professionals to be present in my classroom for 90 minutes at a time, multiple days in a row. In the future, I would like to offer a record option where students can record their presentation and we upload it to a secure site so that members of our advisory board could view when they have the time and evaluate the student's digital portfolio. The last piece that I would change is the follow-up. I would love to follow up with students to see if they use their digital portfolios at job interviews or as part of the admission process to college and how it benefited them for future endeavors. 29 Culinary Arts 2 students worked hard over a semester to create a digital portfolio that showcased their 21st century skills along with the knowledge and skills they exude in culinary arts. These digital portfolios allow students to prove their worth in the hospitality industry and provide them with the confidence they need to move beyond high school and be successful in the workplace. I'm going to show you a few items that students worked on. Here is a plate that a student made of Moroccan couscous. They had to plate their dishes and then do food photography, and then this recipe was uploaded to their blog along with a video and a written description of what they did. Here I'm working with a student, reminding them how to cut a pepper as they're working on one of their recipes during class. Here is a cake that a student made in Culinary 2. Students had to, as part of their final, they had to create a cake, either wedding cake or cupcakes or any type of cake, and this was a particular student who wanted to be an RN. For this project, they had to come up with their recipe, design their cake. They also had to cost out their cake as a real bakery would, and then they had to work to create it, actually videotaping the entire process, blogging back as to what they did that day, what they would do differently, what new skills they learned, what they really should have practiced more, etc. Here's another cake. And you can see that there are many different skill levels between all of the different cakes, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter as long as they did a finished project and they attempted, because these kids tried their best, and it's really hard to do cake decorating. Here's another cake where the student created a dog spa. And as you can see from this cake to this cake and this cake, their level of difficulty is vastly different. Here students worked together to create pasta. They then had to create their own filling and their own sauce as part of their original recipe. But the piece of equipment needed, the pasta machine needed to create the dough, is a more than one person task. So this particular set of students had to work together in order to prepare their dough. Here are other students working together with the machinery to create their ravioli. Here's a fish that students, it's a red snapper, that students had to fabricate and use. A lot of them did not realize when they picked fish what that was going to be like. So it was really fantastic to watch their videos that went along with this recipe that they created on how to cook this fish. Because it was pretty exciting seeing their reactions and honestly how disgusted they were that they had to take the scales off the fish and cut off the head and the fins and that sort of thing. But it was also really fantastic to see how they grew with this skill and the amazing things that they created. And once they were done, you could see a huge transition in their digital portfolios from the beginning stages to the middle to even the end stage of the confidence they gained, not only in their ability to create food, but to write and speak about what they were creating. And that's it. I hope that you have enjoyed this review of the Capstone. I cannot wait till next school year to implement more digital portfolios in my classroom.